Hello students, Professor Angie here. I have had an increased number of questions this week about the portfolio assignment and particularly the biological approach, and I just feel like maybe we need a better overview of the assignment. So the portfolio assignment is going to allow you to take assessments from different theorists represented in our different perspectives. So last week we did the Big Five. Most of you were familiar with the Big Five or were really able to take that and analyze it and think about it. It's pretty straightforward, and one of the reasons we start with that is it's one that students don't struggle with too much. As we move in, some of these get a little trickier, and this week's the biological approach is one of those. So first and foremost, each week you are going to take an assessment. While taking it, I want you to think about, what are these questions asking? How do they tie in? Do I think they're representative? Do I think they're accurate? Do I think they're reliable? And really, that's what you're going to be doing, is critically evaluating these surveys. Some of the surveys you're taking are really strong, like the Big Five. Others of them are kind of made up. They don't have a lot of research behind them, and that is okay. You are deciding which ones you like the best and which ones describe you the best. So each week you're going to take one, you're submitting a paragraph summary. In week 8, you're going to put together a cohesive reflection paper that where you pick the ones that you like best, you describe why, you describe the results, and you use research to back up why you think those certain approaches were the most accurate and or valid. So that's kind of where the assignment is going. Okay, so now I want to go, so that's this discussion. Let me also say that the reason we picked a OneDrive or a Google Drive or a folder system is, unfortunately, Canvas doesn't have a really good portfolio system like that, where you can kind of keep everything together and then pull it together later. That being said, if you wanted to use a running Word document or a running Google Doc or something like that, I don't have a preference. It just felt like I wanted to make sure students were able to find all their stuff and keep it together so that you could find it in week 8. But you do what works for you, as long as you've got a system where you're storing this and you're able to come back to it. That's fine. Okay, so we are going to go to assignments, maybe, and the biological portfolio submission. So for this week, you are taking a sensation-seeking scale. The sensation-seeking scale comes from the theories of Zuckerman and Eisnick, and your book does talk about this a little, but your Canvas page also does. So I'm going to go over to modules, and I'm going to scroll down here into the biological approach, and I'm going to go to Who's Who. So if you scroll down, you're going to read about Zuckerman, and this is the scale that we're talking about. So Zuckerman has this theory that personality traits like sensation seeking, like wanting to get more excitement in your life, are actually driven by a biological low level internal arousal. So he would say, like Eisnick, because Zuckerman was actually a student of Eisnick's, and you can see they published together, that sensation seekers have a low level of activation and therefore look for more from the environment. So this is a biological theory in nature. There is some evidence that this might be true, because we do know from lab studies that serotonin and dopamine systems do impact things like addiction. So you are going to take this questionnaire, all right, and the version that I have linked, I have found out from some of you, does not give a good report, so I'm actually putting in a new one. So under here, there's going to be a second link. I'm going to actually upload it into our class as well, that will allow for you to think about, what do you think about Zuckerman's theory? Do you think the sensation-seeking scale works? And do you think it's really tapping into biological underpinnings? Or do you think this is just kind of another survey about traits? You choose. You disagree, or you agree, or you propose something else. So this course is really about your thinking and your interpretation. There is no right or wrong answer. This is not a trick. I am not looking for you to have a certain response. I want to hear what you think after taking it and how you think this ties in to this idea that sensation-seeking personalities have a lower level of biological internal arousal. So that's kind of how this all ties together. If it is helpful, I can keep making videos every week so that you can understand a little bit more about why these surveys are being used, because I know it does get a little tricky, and when I was in class we could talk about it, but since we're virtual, it's a little trickier. So if you have questions, please keep sending them my way, and I look forward to reading your responses to the sensation seeking scale.